Oh, Lee's still up too. We did the intro's cracking me up. You're over it. There, I was properly unprepared today, so some things some things are good. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to try Lee might have to go in a while, but I'm going to try to get like 3 or 4 done today, or mostly done, like to the point where I, can do touch-ups later. I've got a lot of great submissions. So after I get Lee to say hi, one of the things I wanted to go over it was a lot of the pictures came in because they're intimidating and inspiring at the same time. So that's my little spiel for now. So hi Lee, we haven't talked since last week, so everything's new for us too.
Yeah. Hello and hello everyone. There was definitely a lot of awesome submitted this week, so plenty for Scott to look through and decide on what he wants to paint.
Or paint over. Lee, by the way, what is your shirt? Is it Iron Man with head? I couldn't see. I wanted to see that. I should have waited till later in the show because I didn't know what it was. Okay, that's cool. I like that one.
Yeah, I was as we briefly discussed before coming on, I had to take the kids to get some clothes because they continue to grow at an alarming rate. Whilst walking around the store, I saw a T-shirt, and I thought, "Oh, I'm having that."
Yeah, that was from today.
Yeah. So basically, I like to get my T-shirts for the viewers. So
yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Instead of recycling, I've got a new one. So
thanks for making it, Martin. Hello, Heretic Wargaming. Appreciate it for stopping by. One of the first thing I'm going to go through is just kind of go through some of these pictures because I wanted to show off like a lot of the cool work that has been coming in. Fabian Z, who is a Patreon member, he's not finished with this one, but he just like showed me for later. I haven't been able to do one of his yet, so eventually he's going to have one coming. Christopher actually got a commission from me before, and wait, is that nope? That's Heretic. Sent in that one. I love the. I'm not. Wait, what is this?
It's a Contemptor Dreadnought.
Is that an old? It's got to be an older looking one. I've seen it before. It catches me off guard now that I'm looking at it again.
Yeah, it's a Heresy chassis.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Let's throw some bones and skulls.
Yeah, I like the movement on it. I'm always a sucker for anything with like motion. Gareth, so we're doing this one from Gareth, the Balsarius Call. And Balsarius, yeah, I think it is.
Balsarius.
Yeah, I remembered it from before, and I was like, oh, you got to submit that one again. So I was thankful he posted that. I know, one of these times I got to do one of these. There's so many that make me want to do them. I was like, this Tempest, this was another one. At any time now, especially since you're here and we always talk the Adeptus Titanicus, every time I see a Titanite, I always like the models, but now I want it's even more incentive to do them. This thing is cool.
Yeah, Reaver Titan.
Yeah.
One of the best Titans in the world. Universe, even.
And that's the other thing. All these paint jobs, this kind of like fade effect and how this one is lit is just cool. Like I see that and I'm like, oh, it's a lot of lighting, so that it just kind of triggers in my mind, oh, how would I put like stuff behind it and how would I light the scene and everything? And that's
it's definitely sorry, that looks like it's non-metallic metal.
Yeah.
So where they do, as you say, like with the lighting, to give the sort of the shine and the metallic edge to it. So that's actually really cool in its own.
I know. And it's it's like a clean kind of take on it, and I really dig it. Oh, and so I submitted another one. That is cool. I don't even think I've seen this one until now.
It's what Space Marine should look like. Beaten up.
This is kind of like, I love this kind of like style. It's like, I don't know, I don't even know what's going on here with some of the technique involved, but I
Well, he's
love
obviously
how.
doing like the weathering and chipping on it.
Yeah.
Where you use normally like sort of blacks, dark browns like dried, I think dried bark
Yeah,
or
this
lime side, and you do like little scratches and lines and that, and just apply them. It could be actually like be because those colours are Death Guard colours, so it
yeah.
could be a Death Guard
It looks like a with 30 kill.
Primaris.
Yeah. Gosh, that's cool. I love too, like the simple was it like the copper? Not it's not copper, it's that teal, but like the corrosion effect.
Vertigrade.
Yeah,
Vertigrade.
that
Vertigrade.
is so cool on this.
It's actually a oxide, neolite oxide, I think.
Yeah, that to me is like 40K. I'm like, I see that stuff, and I always want to like paint miniatures and slap that all over it just because I love the look. Oh wait, everyone's talking. I'm missing it because I'm running my mouth.
That's right.
Thank you, Martin, for tweeting about it. Heretic Wargaming says, I got nothing fully finished, working on a few bits slowly. Yeah, join the club on that one.
Sorry, shall I leave the room?
yeah. Matt, yeah. If this is your Belsarius right there,
Belisarius
I'll
or
be
Balisar.
working.
I can't
Oh, I
remember.
just pulled that off. Oh, well. All right, here we go. There. And AJ Ratcliffe submitted this one, and I really want to do it. Man, it's another reason I want to do it is because it's for the time lapse shorts. It has the high angle, and it would make a good video. And then I love like nature in general, so it's like, oh, I could put like a cool thing behind them. It would be a lot of work. I get some names confused, but I'm pretty sure it's Patreon supporter, and I'm gonna start doing private streams with them, and there's a couple in here that I'm gonna do in there and do some of the supporters like kind of all at once and have some fun with it. Because I love this one. Painting Sally, I always remember the green. I always know painting for that miniature, and he's got the great green on this.
Yeah, it's all the flames as well, mixing that in there because like orange and green goes really well together. And so there's a good bit of highlighting on that as well.
That's another cool angle too.
So you want that sort of like stepping out of like ruins or something, or just like standing there saying, "I killed everything. It's fine."
It is exactly right. And it's that upshot that I think always it's on most of them. It looks good on Titans and Dreadnoughts. It looks extra good. You know, he's got that shadow underneath the stomach, and that so you can really like force the perspective and stuff. He's gonna meme another one. I love the Dread. So the newer suits, I really like them. Like I really like the design on these. The shoulder pads are cool, and
Yeah,
I
the
like
Redemptors.
handles. That's the other. Oh, what were we gonna say, Lee?
The Redemptor dreadnoughts. I've got a few of them amongst my various Primaris forces. As yet, there's been my Black Templars one, which this is a Black Templars one. Hasn't managed to fire its cannon in open warfare. It's either been taken out or it's been charged by a load of like infiltrating Tyranids. So you got to do Overwatch once. Wow. But that was it.
War is hell.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, war is hell.
Andy, I haven't done one of these. Wait, or have I? I don't know, but I always see the kangaroo ones are kind of cool to me. They got. I like how they're doing those. Just the bases, like it's something different, you know. It's something they couldn't do like 15, 20 years ago, you know. So I just dig that they try a bunch of stuff.
It's like that techless armor, where you see it's just like the armor and nothing else. So just see the armor plate. So
yes,
all put together.
I've painted that over a couple times.
Hey, miniature apothecary.
Yeah. I do love Apothecary models have always been some of my favorite. Like way back in the day, just their overall look and the whole concept. I always and this is one.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a great pick. And I pulled it up. I don't know how much time I have, but that's a good angle. I really like that thing. And
Mm.
Warhounds, I think maybe it's because I'm biased because I used to play Space Wolves and liked them, but you always hear Hound and the Wolves, so it's like I think I'm just biased towards Warhound Titans, and they're not the they just like have that little scout role. I was
Yes, they're the little nippy little buggers, and they are quite deadly as well.
yeah.
There's been several occasions in books where warhounds have gotten the better of bigger titans, or have just performed amazingly in the stories.
I don't know what. Wait, let me see.
It's a Mauler fiend, I think.
Oh, okay, I
It's
love
it's, it's a
the two
chaos.
Imperial Guard is just
It's
perfect.
right there.
Yeah, shoot it,
It's drooling on us.
yeah.
Shoot it in the face.
Oh gosh, this one too.
Mm.
I like the.
Gutsguard.
I'm so. What's funny, especially after it makes it worse that I stared at all these miniatures because I'm like, well, I want faded, grungy Blanchitsu with like, and then I'm like, no, I want super crisp, almost cartoon cell looking brightness. Like I want like my army's gonna be like all different styles. Like one squad will be like totally grunged out, another one will be all bright and just totally different.
Well, there's a lot of my friends from like online hobby friends and all that. There's a fair few of them are actually doing like retro armies and painting them in the
Yeah.
old sort of styles, like green bases,
Mm-hmm.
and like the real like ultramarines with like the yellow trim and the red bolters, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Revisiting them, and even like the Eldar or Eldari or Eldar back then, Eldari now.
Yeah. Okay,
So
it is
yeah,
Eldari now. That's what I. Okay.
Yeah, it's Eldar. Basically, you just add an A before Elder and then an
Yeah.
I after the R. So it's breaks it up and gives it a new spin of things.
I really thought this picture was cool, and probably the only reason I didn't do it is because it would just be too hard to clean it up on the sides. Like
Mm.
if this is on white, I really like that angle, and I like the whole concept of this with the orc in there. And it would have helped if it was a little like that orc is just a little too blurry. It's such a focal point that it would have been nice for that to be and a little more focus on the orc's head. But that's the only reason. Like I love the composition on this, and it's the comic fan in me that always likes the angles. I'll do some of the angles. And what's funny is I almost take it for granted, but for most people, especially if you're not into like looking at comics all the time, they're like, well, why is it tilted? I'm like, oh man, I don't know why. So it's just like it's cool to me. It's like a camera angle or something, but a lot of people
I
kind of don't like it.
So if it just again just with the focusing, because obviously that sort of detracts from you being able to do anything with it, because then it
Yeah,
just distorts everything. But yeah, the model itself, like with orcs and their ability to just turn anything into
yeah.
a weapon system, has always been impressive and something to like about them. But when you said about the background, I was thinking back to my friend who posted up his Astral Claws, the Benjamin Greaves, yesterday with his background, and
Yeah.
I think miniature apothecary is going like, "Oh, dude."
I that one did. And I was almost yeah. We'll show that one in a bit because oh, see, here's another one, and these get me the charging horses. It'd probably be a
Mm,
bit much for me to clean up in this, but this would make a really cool one.
mm.
This would make a really cool one. Man, these are nice. I
Well,
like
it
the
definitely would be the biggest unit you've done if you
yeah.
had it on. Because you've done was it four horses? Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it was like four. And I think if it was a different show and I didn't think I was going to do a lot of them cuz I might try to like go on for I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm like okay, I got to like do some. But yeah, I would do that one. This one from Welsh Mini Painter. Wait, I think. Let me get the name right. Yep.
Yeah.
Welsh Mini Painter. Wait, what?
Dark Angel.
Inquisitor? It's got to be an Inquisitor.
Librarian.
Librarian. I never seen that backpack. That's
Um,
interesting.
yeah, there might no that backpack's off of Sisters of Battle. So it's either he's just done that as a kit bash to
Oh,
just
that's a
get him up
cool.
as like a jet jump pack or something.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Dark
Oh
Angels,
yeah, because it
wings.
has the wings on it now. That's
Yeah, this is
cool.
Seraphim, I think they're from the Sisters of Battle.
That's actually a good. That's a good. So this is kind of straight on. So generally, so this is where it kind of breaks rules. In general, it's like a straight shot against, like right into a model's chest is kind of almost. I don't know if boring is the right way, but it's like it's hard to add excitement to it. This is one of those that like gets away with it because the face is angled and his
Mm,
hand is moved out, so it's kind of like a simple action pose, and
yeah.
it's one of those that almost breaks the rule, because I'd be like, in general it's like, okay, stay away from a total straight on, but this one, because of how it is, it actually works for me.
Mm.
Oh, and this one is loaded up. I love this thing. So this is, I have like 6 that I pulled in. I'm like, I can't do all 6 today, but this one, this is so cool to me.
Night Warden
Yeah.
with its Avenger minigun type thing.
And
But the missile pod at the top there, I think that's off of a Valkyrie or Vendetta. It's a
yeah,
Imperial Guard, underslung missile pod, rocket pod.
and this
'Cause,
one, it has a style where it's like, so the other one that had that metal, almost like non-metallic metal look effect, just the shine, at least it's like a cross. This one is like a cross between that and then kind of like a grungier one, so it's like this whole other style that just, to me, really fits in there. The weathering on this is cool, and again, I think, to me, it's it triggers that there's a little bit of comic book feel into it, in how, at least, like the scratches and everything look really rendered on here and cool. I think it's awesome.
yeah, no, it's a lot of work's gone into do all those scratches.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And they're so. Is that, you think that's Cadia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a Night House ally, because that symbol on its shield is the Cadian symbol, army symbol.
Okay. Okay.
So it's probably obviously based a Night House that was
Yeah.
based on Cadia, and obviously they're celebrating that.
Another one. The sisters. So it's on. I think I saw someone tweet it before. They're like, sisters seem like are like the most 40K faction in 40K, and I was like, I think for design right now, to me, the sisters feel super 40K. Like, they have candles, they have all the banners, they got like the ornate stuff, the fleur de lis, and all that stuff. So it was like they just got it all going on.
It's definitely got that sort of Joan of Arc sort of aesthetic,
Mhm.
even though obviously Joan of Arc was impersonating a guy. But
Mhm.
anyway, but yeah, it's like, the Battle Sisters have always had that sort of certain look to them, and
Yeah.
that dedication to the imperial truth and everything, and obviously the ecclesiarchy, which they're sort
And
of
really
loosely.
ornate. That's the other thing. Like, the symbols on them, they're always ornate. They even got the little, like, the studs on the gloves and everything.
Mm.
I'm a
Oh,
sucker.
it's definitely looking awesome.
Got this one. So look, oh gosh, like, that's another one. There's like 8 of these. So the glow on the stomach thing gets me. I'm like, oh, I could really push those and like make them glowing. This is a great photo for this, because the inside of that wing is dark and the spear point is really bright. So I could force a lot of depth in that, and then the wing. So, like, this one is going to end up saved, or I got to like tell a person, I'll be like, make sure you post this because I'll remember it and do it, because it's got the sculpt itself is awesome, and then just the color choices, to me, are incredible.
Hmm. So with these, when they came out, I know that there was a lot of sort of heresy players that were thinking, "Oh, that's a possible sort of conversion for doing Fulgrim after he changes.
Yeah.
Old snake hips, as I call him.
Do you know? Do you know what
no,
this is? I don't know what this is.
I can never remember their name. They're the Daughters of Cain, I think.
Okay, it is them or one of those.
I
I'm sure we'll
believe
find
I
out.
believe they're part of that faction, obviously from AOS.
Yeah,
But,
I gotta
yeah.
tell people. So I think that's one thing I should add is like if they give me at least the name of the model, you know what I mean? Because like if I do this, it'd be nice to know what model I'm dealing with. Sometimes. I dig these.
Skaven, isn't it?
I know. You could get in this one. It's too complex for me today, but there's a lot of cool colors going on. You could glow all the warp crystals, obviously, and all the energy. I really like the cool color choices on this for a paint over because you could do a nice cleanish kind of background and then focus all the light and cool effects on the crazy Skaven.
Oh, Marathi. Thank you, Martin. Cheers. It's the Marathi, that Snake Hips thing. And hello to Toffee Troll.
Thanks for
Welcome.
making it, Toffee Troll. Thanks for the info, Martin. Appreciate it. Oh, see, here's another one. Probably too intense for free paint over day, but this thing is cool. Great job. I like the lighting on that sword. And even the chest piece on that in particular, that's a nice lighting job on that thing.
That is really impressive.
I know it is.
But I'm not sure if that's because that headdress thing or the thing behind on the little character at the front there. I'm not sure if that was because that reminds me of the as I call them sea elves or fish elves.
Oh yeah.
Because they have certain sort of back plates like that, and that sort of style. But but no, that dragon though, oh, awesome!
That's a lot of work right there.
Well, there seems to be. I know a few friends of mine seem to be all doing dragons at the moment, which is once they do them, will be absolutely amazing.
We need like a dragon. I need like a dragon day. We should have dragon themes. I know. Maybe we theme them sometimes or something. Oh, this one was a trip. So, what did they do on this?
Yeah, I've been talking to him today. He tagged me in a post of his because he's got like glow in the dark paint. There you go.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to. There's been a few people doing it, and I really like the effect on certain things. I really think it plays into some of them. I don't know if someone did squigs or something with them that I was really enjoying. And here's one. It was a trip to me. So the color choices and just the fact that it's like clean, simple, like, paint. It's not like heavily shaded or anything. But I stared at this exceptionally long time. And I was like this one. So I was really in. It's such bright, it's like almost cartoony, and I dug that because most aren't like that, and I really wanted to almost try like a graphic background and kind of play into what was going on here because it's almost comic booky to me, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, I want to play into that one. I think you could do some really cool stuff on this one. So at some point that might get something because it's fun. It's got the nice bright yellows and greens would really make some, I could really push that far, I think.
It's sort of like, I say, when you say like comic and cartoony stuff, it sort of reminds me of the old like 1982 Flash Gordon.
Yeah. And, so so I get inspired, like, I think, which is the only thing it was this Archmagos, like, it says he doesn't like the way he paints, but I'm like, I don't know. I say people like that, it's like keep going with it because to me that's cool. Like I'm seeing like, okay, that's something different, and I try to visualize. He had a few of these. I'm like, it might look, cool, like laid out, and it's something different. So, kudos. This one, I have
styles. That's what it comes down to. It's like you have your own aesthetic when you paint.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it, because it really just stood out in my head, and I spent a lot of time staring at these, like, why, what's going on that it's like triggering my brain. This one, I saw the amount of like likes and everything. I was like, I really dug the night. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this one, because I'm I have it in my head. It's going to be real dark, and I want to force those glows. So that one is one of them I'm going to do, because it's an awesome mini.
Yeah, that's another one I was sharing earlier on myself because that was really cool. Oh, there's Ben's
Yeah, Ben,
character.
this one I really dig. I was like, and it's not too bad for me to outline some of it around the other thing. If it was just grabbable pretty quick, I would have done this one, because I this is another cool model. So some of them, like these newer ones, that's such cool design. The shield arc is kind of mimicked by the arc in the cloth, and it's kind of like a repetitious arc, and then the sword breaks it. So it
Mm.
was just like a well done photo, and the bright blues. I guess maybe it's because I'm working on it digital. A lot of times the bright colors suck me in, which is weird, because if you asked me, I would say I like the grungy, washed out colors more. But it's like,
Mm.
so it's one of these catch 22s where you like it all, I guess.
And that's the thing. Like Ben, there is actually well, he's a friend of mine. He's my co-founder of the Tyrannus Owners Club, and those decals, which you can hardly see on there, I think they're the ones that I swapped with him. He wanted to do this Astral Claws project for a Badab campaign, um, massive project. Loads of people are doing armies for a Badab campaign sort of game when
Yeah.
things get back to normal. And Benjamin went with the Astral Claws, the bad guys of the piece. But he just paints. It's really strange, like very crisp, but you can also have them looking dirty as well at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah.
because of the way he does them. And they're very, they're beautiful to look at.
That's how I just learned so much. This one I had to include something about
Mm.
vehicles in this perspective always get me. The planes, it's like the traditional, you would see it on box art for like the World War II planes or whatever, it's get that. And something about them, I was like, oh, let me try to force that perspective, because it's like that's in a lot of the art, especially what I'm doing with paintovers. I'm basically trying to build depth, So I'm like, okay, like let me work on depth again. By the way, Rich, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And Martin did say, yeah, Andy Clark did a lot of the glow in the dark squigs, so that was the one I was remembering. So thank you, Martin.
And Gordon's alive, apparently, as well. What do you mean, Flash Gordon's approaching? I'm on fire!
This one, I knew it was comic book. I wasn't familiar with the character, and it
Oh, that's
was,
from Avengers.
yeah, and I didn't place it, and this is one. It's another one I want to do. I dig the. I was. It's like about time Marvel started making good miniatures. I always thought their stuff was perfect. I'm finally seeing like a lot of cool stuff come out from them.
Hmm.
Wolf Lord Lewis, this one's getting done probably in Patreon. I've been putting this one. I really like this pick. I want to do a bunch of cool glow coming from underneath that. I want to do some good like repulsor lift type stuff, and I like the camera angle, so that one is going to get done. And this one, I think they did their own version of some photoshopping on it, and I like it. Be a little too complex for paint over day, but I dig it.
Mm. Yeah, the little flamey,
Yeah,
like
yeah, and in the
sparkle.
background, and to me, yeah, I like the flame coming out of the background and stuff. It just adds a little like. I think it's a great way to show off your picks. So now I'm going to try to get to work. I did this part. So what did I do? I cleaned it and scuffed it up a little bit on the dirt, and then I put a green background, kind of it's the on a color wheel, green is basically across from red, so it always works together, and you can use it to shade real well. So I slapped it in there. I wanted to put some light behind them, because he has some interesting shadow and stuff down here, so I wanted to push a little light through it, and then put my tinted layer over, and then kind of start bringing some of it back.
Ah.
so that I'll erase some and kind of increase it because I want to put them in the shadow, but then kind of pull them out. Psychologist to the Astartes says, "Good evening. Thank you for making it."
Hello. And welcome as always. We always need our psychologists here helping us with our examinations of people's psyches with their artwork.
And now,
and we're all Astartes in some form, apart from the Orcs or the Eldari amongst us, or even Necrons. Who knows?
Select there.
It was actually it was something I was going to mention was a couple of weeks ago when one of our other conversations about TV shows and stuff, and we were talking about like the old Vampire the Masquerade, and they had a TV show called Kindred the Embraced.
Yep.
Well, they're bringing out another TV series based in the world of darkness, so vampires and werewolves and stuff.
So we were ahead of the curve. We knew what people wanted and was coming out. Look at that! Get breaking news from us, and we don't even know it.
I know it's crazy. Like we forsoothed it, and addressed it, and obviously they heard us. And within like 2-3 weeks, they came together with something.
Credit.
Yeah, of course we will. Yeah, we're not that shallow. Oh, okay. He's the wrong kind of psychologist, sadly. All right. Damn it. Right. Okay, we have to replan that whole thing now.
What did I do? I thought. All right.
You'll make him disappear. And then magically reappear. So, you guys who are watching at the moment, what are you all up to tonight? Are you actually hobbying or anything whilst you're watching, or just chilling, enjoying the artistry at work as always?
Eating dinner. What's up?
I decided to forego dinner tonight. I just, I've eaten a lot today, snacking, but I have got some Belgian milk chocolate raisins with me if I need a snack. That will get me through.
I almost forgot to eat, and then I was like, I'm going to run the store. They have a just little pizza, place. So I grabbed 2 slices. I was like, I could eat that. Toffee Troll is hobbying.
Wow.
Gorka night.
Yeah, it's hard for me to, being such a big lover of Knights and Titans, and then seeing the Orcs getting their hands on them and just fill them up with guns everywhere. They're brilliant, creative and imaginative. The Iron Warriors Tech Marine by Rich. The Iron Warriors, they are a really menacing sort of army.
Martin painted over some Iron Warriors Martin painted some Iron Warriors, and those were not some of the first, but very early on. And I painted over some of his, and I like that, just their color. It's just the kind of a very basic, the color itself, but it's so ominous to me.
Yeah, so especially when you sort of like read the books and stuff, where you get a feel for how the Legion works, which is basically just throw everything at everything and just kill them.
Meat grinder.
Yeah, they are the meat grinder specialists. Not that they, because that was the whole the tragedy of Perturabo, was that I'm an artiste. He wanted to build fantastic buildings and magnificent structures and stuff, and he got to do meat grinder duty, and that's what sort of really ticked him off and turned him away from the Emperor, because I don't do this. I like to make things. So yeah, it's sort of again, that was probably the Emperor's fault, pushing him in that particular direction. and given him that, because it could have been so different. But it was all part of the Emperor's plan to rub up his sons
Yeah.
to have rivalries amongst them, each other, and all that sort of stuff. But, poor old Peter Warbo, or Peter Turbo, as some people call
Peter Turbo.
him. Martin, I'm waiting for my mate Federico to come and take away these painted models, and then I might slap some paint on his squeeze. Nice. Psychologist to the Astartes, I'm flitting between building silly Nurgle Knights and building cursed city stuff, which is never a bad thing. Toffee Troll, wow! Fair point. Taken. And Rich, the Emperor bad, actually. Again, with the Emperor, he's got a really tough job going on there. And we've spoken about this before, and where we had the analogy with Leto II from the fabulous series that is known as Dune. Well, he's after 7, it's fine. But yeah, it's basically where you have the ability to guide a species down a very narrow corridor with dangers on each side, and you've got to keep them in this narrow path in order for them to reach a safe point. You're going to be a dick. There's going to be decisions that aren't going to be very popular.
Yeah. That's what I dig about. That's what I always dig about the whole setting of it. It's the grimdark. It's like, things happen, and I think that's kind of why it the setting. I don't know. It just to me how can I explain it? I think when I was younger, it was just something that was you'd have D&D, and then you would have something like this, and this was just. It was so standoutish to me at that time compared to most stuff coming out. It was like, oh wow, this isn't like the heroes don't always win here. It's like they die a lot.
Yeah, I always remember because I used to correspond with Graham McNeil a lot from years and years ago, sort of thing, and we have since become friends and stuff. But I was saying to him once, like with the heresy, and this was sort of, I'd say about a third the way through at the time when I messaged him this, and I was like, the thing is with reading the heresy, it's all bad guys, bad guys, bad guys. They're obviously they started it all, and they're crashing the crap out of everyone. And we know how it all ends. But I was saying to him, it's like, there isn't like an El Alamein moment within the heresy where the bad guys are winning, and there isn't like one battle where it suddenly flips and then they're not winning, if you know what I mean. And there's, obviously with the whole thing, like we know that there was the betrayal at Istvan, and then they do a whole load of bad stuff here, there, and everywhere, slaying marine legions and destroying worlds and all that sort of thing. And the next minute they're at Terra after several years, sort of thing, of marauding and all that sort of thing. But I said to him, well, it would be interesting like that, why, the reasons of when Horus is getting to Terra, why it was such a sort of a rush job after all these years of progressing and doing stuff, and then suddenly it becomes quick, got to do it quick, sort of thing. And I was like saying, like, well, I mentioned about like there could be like a story where like it could be a really small, insignificant thing in a greater scheme of things, but has more of an impact because with chaos in particular, it's all down to symbolism and gestures. Where you sacrifice that one person and it has a resounding effect within the warp and the psyche of everyone and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Or you just maybe destroy a ritual site, which then has an effect on somebody who participated in a ritual there. I.e., like if you destroyed Davin, where Horus fell, that was a very significant symbol.
There'd be a change in the warp because of something like that.
Yeah, because and even the loyalists know that by mid sort of heresy that they know it's like symbolism means a lot to that side of things. But yeah, it was like little asking questions, and sometimes when you ask authors questions, and they don't know all the answers.
No, but still, you'll get a glimpse of some things.
Yeah, and they'll answer what they can, or you might just ask a question and it makes them think, you know what, that's actually quite interesting. I haven't thought about that, and then they sort of take that on board and use it in their stories. Because at the end of the day, they're looking for inspiration, and they all like to read. As any good hobbyist does, we all like to read and learn stuff, and so do they. And then they sort of use that knowledge that they've gained and gleaned, and use it to make their stories even more awesome.
It's true. I mean, it's the same way. Like anyone who's like doing painting or drawing or anything, you pick up stuff from all kinds of people.
Yeah, and like the glow on those bits, that's really cool.
I like 40k glow. Add some glow.
Oh, we got to go for the glow and the sparkles. So I've said sparkles twice. You've not said it once.
Sparkle time.
Ah, thank you. That's great value. Nice. But yeah, you say like authors. If you ever get the chance again one day to attend some sort of conventions and authors are there, just they're human beings at the end of the day, and they just do something different for a job. So you don't have to be sort of nervous when you're approaching them. They are all very approachable generally. Just don't approach them in places like toilets or places like that. I've heard many stories, not like from Black Library, but I used to attend conventions and stuff. Where like Babylon 5, for example, and one actor was approached for an autograph whilst he's using the urinal.
Yeah, that's not good timing.
Yeah. So after that, he stopped doing conventions. So yeah, treat him how you would like to be treated. That's the best way. Unless you're a sadomasochist. But no, anyway. Yeah, so you can speak to these guys, and they are quite friendly, welcoming, and just have a nice chat with them. Because you never know, you might learn something about, especially if they've written something about your favorite sort of faction or something. They might give you that little tidbit that you'd be, ooh, I did not know that.
Well, yeah, they like to talk about it too.
Yeah, you actually find out quite a lot of interesting stuff. Yeah, I won't say that one. So you can find out interesting stuff. And sometimes they get carried away and just say whatever. I'm planning on doing this. In this book, or this character is going to go off and do that. So yeah, it's always worth it because it is fun, and they are really are nice and charming people.
I don't even know how many books there are out now in 40k world. There's got to be so many.
Oh, if 40k, yeah, hundreds. Heresy, you've got sort of, I think about, for the Heresy and Siege must be about 55 now.
Wow.
And that's just one series, obviously the big one. And that's not including short stories and
just all the little tie-ins all over the place. Yeah.
But I've actually, annoyingly, I wanted to get the latest Siege book, which is Mortis by John French.
Gotcha.
It was on pre-order, and then it was released last weekend, and I was hoping that it was going to be in an audiobook format, but it's not. Because obviously, as you know, I like to listen to my audiobooks when driving to and from work. But yeah, there was I was looking through. I googled like where is it? Where is the audiobook for Mortis? And I found a Reddit, and they were saying on there that apparently there was they had problems with like the recording and
Yeah.
something. Obviously, that's put that back. So hopefully that will turn up at some point. But I don't mind reading, but I can't read whilst driving.
Well, that's
Uh,
it. It's yeah. When you got stuff going on like that, and it's a good chunk of time for you to get some, quality like that in, and not just entertaining, but you get to catch up on the whole story.
Yeah, and there's lots of like Titan stuff in there, including my Legio Ignatum, are in there. So I want to find out all the groovy stuff, or even all the bad stuff, whatever happens. Yes, damn.
Are you playing D&D tonight?
Yeah, with Monster of the Week as we've been playing, which is fun as always. We've been enjoying it. Which my friend Ben, who runs it, and I've been neglectful with. We've got like a chat thread where we talk all things the role
Yeah.
play game, and what he does, he actually does like little news reports
Oh,
for what's happened in the previous games, and it's like for the Eldritch Press sort of thing, and he does like it's like a proper sort of like front page of
yeah.
a paper sort of thing. And he sent a few over the other day, and I still haven't actually read them. So badly, Lee.
That would be a cool. That would be a cool, like, I don't know what it would be, even if it was like a blog post or something from 40K, like
Hmm.
a little newspaper snippet of a couple pages of like 40K world news somewhere. You know what I mean? Just like, how like they have different newspapers from all over here. They could almost do the same in like the 40K world. And like once a month, they release a couple pages from some world's like newspaper. That'd be an interesting thing.
Yeah, they did do a. It was like a little press junket type thing where it says like Cadia Falls. Guardsman says the planet broke before the guard did,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, which was kind of cool. It's just just little sort of things,
Yep.
but I'll say what you mean, like having maybe a couple of pages of stuff just to
And
get your
because
teeth.
I think that was one of my favorite parts always of the 40K, are just the little snippets. Like that's all I need sometimes. Like what some like to it's just like pricks your mind and like sparks your own creativity.
Mm. Well, yeah, as we said many a times before, with like sometimes it's just that little thing that you read somewhere in a book or in a codex or something, and it just makes you like think, "Oh, hold on a
Yeah.
sec, that'd be really cool. If I did this, then I could do that to get that effect." And it just sends you on a creative sort of path
Yeah.
from just reading that small sort of. It could be one sentence or a paragraph, and it just gives you that fuel that fires your imagination to go off and be creative in your
I'm
own
sure
right.
there's a ton of armies that got created that way.
Oh yeah, totally. Lots and lots.
This one will get touched up a bit more later, but I'm probably gonna pause this one for now and kind of switch to another one. I like what it's got, and I would do a little more lighting, things like that skull in the back. I got to put some more lights on, and I would do a few things just to punch up the depth a little. But I dig it.
Yeah,
Once I
yeah,
get past
definitely
the
works.
worried stage, I'm always like, once I get past the worried stage, I'm like, all right, I got this from the rest of here. I know what I'm doing with it, and I'll end up going in and doing some of those highlights on it. But I dig it.
Yeah, no, I like the little like the spark on the that near central weapon at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. When did this come out? Like a year ago, this model?
It's been out for a couple of years now. It's when
Okay.
it was sort of released after they done. It was during the Cadia
Okay.
campaign, which started in the January, and then it sort of, I think this came out in a triumphant box, which you had him, you had Rabute Guilliman, and Saint Celestine model
Okay.
in one set to represent the three factions that came together and stuff, and the rebirth of the Primarch. But yeah, no, it was really cool little. So they haven't done anything like that recently either. I sort of expected that they would do that on a semi sort of regular basis, like where they have like a big campaign thing for everyone to drive their imaginations and
Yeah.
get them going on creating armies and playing games and being
And
part of that.
I'm sure the whole pandemic thing put things back too.
Yeah, the psychologist says, yeah, it came out with Guilliman, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Yeah, that him and Saint Celestine in the triumphant, whatever. It was Roman. That box set. This, I know what you said, because I was sort of like thinking of like those sort of artistic, sort of like Mobius type things. That's the other one. Yeah, there was a couple of them. So like the Eldari ones with the three characters in there. Then you had them. Was there another? There wasn't a Chaos one, was there? I don't think it was. They just brought out like a Baden or something. Yeah. Oh no, there was one with Cypher, wasn't there? Cypher was in there with.
Oh, I think I remember a cool Cypher model, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Cypher is a very cool dude. And I remember again reading like one of those things in White Dwarf when they had this like little story where Cypher is on board I think it was the Ventral Spirit, going up to speak to a Baden, and like
Yeah.
he's just showing like Abaddon being like, "Don't look at me!" At all, like, lackeys in the background, and like would just like kill them because they just looked at him the wrong way or something. But then Cypher turned up, and that had his full attention, as if like he was wary of Cypher because he felt that Cypher could actually do him harm.
Yeah.
You know? So you keep your friends close and your enemies closer and all that. And that was a definite sort of looking at him going, all right, I'm going to keep you at arm's distance, but I'm keeping my eye on you as well, just in case you try and shoot me, because he knew how lethal Cypher is in that sort of situation. Triumvirate. Yes, Martin, thank you. Martin, the Potato Mage, to the rescue. I'm also trying to think of what other things this reminds me of. I know the obvious one is to go like with Rey's speeder from Force Awakens and that, but I definitely just remember sort of like the way the angle the photograph is definitely just ringing something in my mind that I've seen sort of like proper artwork, not comic book, but like a Mobius type.
Did he have? I think Mobius is one of my favorite all-time artists. He like, oh gosh, yeah. I think I brought it up before. I'm like, I think if anyone really triggers my imagination, it's Mobius artwork for some reason. Just like, I think a lot of it is so open. You know, he's got like it's like line work and just color, and it's just something. It's almost like dreamy to me. Man, it's incredible stuff.
And of course, he was involved with Dune. Jodorowsky.
I wish I could see that book. He has that whole book.
Yeah.
Oh
he
man,
likes to show to certain people, but not everyone.
That would be incredible. Oh, by the way, if you're watching and you're enjoying, please hit that like button for me. That helps a lot with all the power of the algorithms, the algorithm gods.
All power to the algorithm.
Yeah. Power
I
to
don't
the
know.
you know there's going to be like some spoof shows in the future with all the algorithm and everyone worshiping it.
I was actually having a flashback to Grace Jones just then, because she brought out a song, "Slave to the Rhythm." So it's slave to the algorithm.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yes, we must have the likes. Give us the likes.
Give us the likes. To erase.
Let's just turn the light on. It's getting a bit dark over here.
What is it? It's almost the end of May. I don't even know. Months and everything don't mean much anymore right now. Like for me, everything's like so blended together. Like what month? What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was glad when the days started getting longer. They were pretty short here for a while, and then like now that they're longer, that just helps me. I feel more normal or something.
Well, say you should feel sorry for those poor guys up in like Scandinavian countries, right in the north, where they hardly get any sunlight at times, sort of thing. So, because obviously they have like the seasonal adjustment disorder is like on steroids up there at times. Lack of sunlight, it really has that, or continuous daylight, because you get both sides.
Yeah.
So that would be very nasty to be hanging around.
It's not normal for the human condition.
Yeah. You would have thought that, seeing as they live up there, they should have been used to it by now. They chose to live there.
It probably does. I'm sure you adjust somewhat, especially if your families lived there for a while. You know what I mean? It's probably like if you really grew up in it. But I'm sure then again, it probably doesn't get used to it.
We just have really impressive blackout blinds.
Yeah.
The blackiest blackout blinds ever.
And I'm not even like a big summer person, but it makes such a difference, just that light and everything for me.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like obviously over here in good old Britain, obviously growing up, it was always like grey and dreary and all that. And obviously with all the whole global warming thing, it's a lot nicer. But then you're getting random weather effects every now and again. Bit of snow here. But it's April. Doesn't matter. Have snow. It's not the first time we've had snow in April. I think we've even had in recent memory, we've had like one snow shower in May, which is like the arse end of spring. But Toffee Troll, I can tell you that we're not used to this. I'm from Sweden. Yeah. I say I love all the Nordic countries. One of your neighbours, Denmark, I was up there a couple of times in 2019. Didn't quite get to sort of the Sweden side of things, because I know obviously you can just go across like one bridge and you're in like Copenhagen, pretty much.
Toffee Troll says, and now we start to complain about that it's so bright, and then some. And some months ago we complained about the darkness. So summertime, it's just so hot for me. Like, I'm being so nitpicky, but I'm a fall person. We have all 4 seasons here. I love the fall. Like, there's no real bugs out in the woods, and it's cool enough where if you go hiking around or something, you're not drenched in sweat the whole time. Like, I would go by us where it's like up north and go in the woods, and up there it's like if you go in the summer, it's a jungle. It's like black flies and mosquitoes, and like everything wants to bite you, and you're like dripping sweat. You go in the fall, it's like there's no bugs, you can get around, it's not all soaking wet.
I many years ago, back in 2002, I decided to just do it, and I basically took out a loan and paid off a load of debts, and then bought some round the world tickets and went to Australia and New Zealand.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we flew out end of January and was out there for about 5 weeks. But what we didn't realize, really, and we didn't really think about it, was obviously our winter is like their summer.
Yeah.
So, and going to places like Queensland, which is their like northeastern side, is where all like a lot of their rainforests are.
Gotcha.
So it's hot and humid, and you're surrounded by everything that wants to kill you. But I always remember we landed at the airport like in the middle of the night. Time we got through customs and everything, it was like 6 a.m. The sun was peeking over the mountains in the distance, sort of thing. And we'd contacted because out there you can contact, like, there's loads of cards for hostels, and what they'll come and pick you up from the airport to bring you back to their hostels, and then you rent out rooms or whatever. So we phoned this one place up, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll send someone out for you." So as we was waiting, they said, like, it'll be about 10-15 minutes. I thought, well, that's good. So we waited about 10 minutes. I thought, should we go wait outside? And we walked out of this airport, and the automatic doors open, and it was a wall of fire. Because you come out of the air-conditioned building into, it's 6 a.m. Why is it so hot?
Yeah, I always like like any place, like almost like Thailand, or I think like Shanghai or something. A lot of places I'd want to go, but I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be like, if I went to Thailand, that's a whole nother degree of like sweating. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna be run around the day and like change clothes 30 times for me.
Yeah. That was pretty much it, sort of thing. Lovely place though, and it's when it's sunny, it's beautiful, and you get that sort of vitamin D smile, and stuff. But when you're not used to that sort of heat as well, it is a bit of a culture shock. You get used to it, but it's that initial.
You just got to get acclimated and all that for sure.
New Zealand was much better. That was. New Zealand reminded me of like certain parts of England, up north, as we like to say, so like Cumbria, the Lake District, and that scenery, like, as you've probably seen in Lord of the Rings. Really, really nice scenery out there, and it's temperate as well. So it's not not too hot, not too cold, just right. But again, we were lucky when we was out there, so but yeah, it was really nice. And we went for a drive from on the South Island from Christchurch to Dunedin, which was about 300-400 kilometers, and we drove that in a day, and it was one of the nicest drives I've ever been on. No motorways. It's just like every now and again you got a little overtaking section. So if you get stuck behind like a ute or a slow-moving van or something, just wait, bide your time, overtake. And as you're driving down on the left-hand side, you had like the Pacific / Antarctic Ocean, and on the right, in the distance, you had all the mountains. So on a nice day as well, it was just like beautiful, really nice.
Yeah, the little experiences like that in life, just being someplace that you're not used to, and totally different scenery and all that.
Yeah, it also reminded me, like, the little towns that we went through. It just reminded me of England from the 70s. So like you go back in time a little bit at some places, and then it was like, I think the biggest shock for me was there was two. One, petrol or gasoline, as you call it. We was able to fill up a car for like the equivalent of £7, which over here, if we filled up a car,
I remember.
A lot.
I remember going over there and seeing the gas price and being like, whoa, compared to over here. I was like, that was hugely different.
Yeah. And then the other things was it was a couple of things. It was Pizza Hut and KFC.
Really?
Yeah, because I was in a KFC and they had all the menus on the walls and like special offers and stuff.
Yeah.
They had this one special offer, which was what they call like their ultimate party pack type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, you got like several fries, a couple of bottles of drink, some sides, and about 60 pieces of chicken. Right. And I'm looking at the price of it and then converting it, and it was equivalent to around about £18 in English money. Now, 60 pieces of chicken, over here, 6 pieces of chicken cost you nowadays around about £13.
Yeah, so that's a huge difference.
And I was like, oh my God, all that KFC.
Go, I gotta get some.
And they've done 2 different flavors as well. They've done original recipe, and then they had like zinger coated chicken.
Yeah.
Which was like, we was on that and the mash and gravy all the time. That was great. Food.
Yeah, I'm a big food person. I like to try new stuff.
I think you always got to experiment a little bit. Although I don't like paying out money to experiment. I'd rather, if someone had ordered something, I'll just go like, can I try a bit of that?
Kind of a little bit. Kind of test
I might not even know who they are. I'll just go over to them. Excuse me, can I try a bit of that? No, go away.
It's not a Mandalorian. I don't even know what this is. Obviously I know it's Star Wars.
Well, I don't know, because those legs look like Gene Stealer cult legs.
Wait, you're right. Maybe it's... I'm going to have
conversion.
to find out. I'll have to
those engines are reminiscent of a 40K model, one of the era
flying. I'm thinking Star Wars, and it's probably not. I don't even know why I thought Star Wars. That's kind of silly. I mean,
well, it does look like a Mandalorian.
Star Wars. Yeah, what am I thinking? This has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Did they have anything on the actual
the tweet? I don't think so.
For it,
yeah, I'll have to find out. I'll tweet them later.
But then they might be using Games Workshop stuff for
true.
You don't know.
Yeah,
there's creative people out there.
See, let's know what they say about assuming.
Make an arse out of you and Ming.
That's right.
Ming the Merciless. We're back to Flash Gordon.
Oh, when's a Buck Rogers remake coming? Maybe remake Buck Rogers.
Well, I was watching. You remember the old Gil Gerard Buck Rogers in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching. I was managed to on Amazon Prime. They had like season 1 for like £5. Okay. So I thought I'm buying that, and I was watching it, and they actually had in one episode Buster Crabbe in it, right? So Buster Crabbe, who was the original Flash Gordon, back in like the 30s, 40s, or whatever, but he also played Buck Rogers.
Oh wow! I did not know that.
Yeah, so they in the thing, it was like they was getting fighter pilots to work together. Like all the pilots had been taken ill, and they got some like people that had flying experience.
Okay.
And he was an old time pilot, and he was called like Colonel Gordon or something like that. So it was just like, Buck Rogers paying homage to Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Them both, and it was just like a really nice little twist, nice little nod. Sorry.
I haven't seen any of those in a long time.
Well, it's all about Buck, Tweaky, and Wilma.
Good old Tweaky. They were supposed to redo. I remember as a kid, like Black Hole was like Disney, that was like Disney's one dark movie. I just remember that. I was like, I don't even know. I was a little kid going to see that. I was like, whoa. Like, I just remember that one leaving an impression on me.
Was it Maximilian, wasn't it? The bad.
Yeah, like ground up a few dudes.
It was spinny hands.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's, I've only seen Black Hole once, but you can still remember like
Yeah.
the characters and what was going on. It's like it was like the golden age of like sci-fi movies. So I always associate that with like Fantastic Voyage as well.
There was a cool. I always liked the Fantastic Voyage concept. There's a couple of those. There's a couple old movies and stuff I gotta go rewatch.
Yes, Martin saying "biddy biddy biddy, screw you, Buck."
Beady beady. That's right.
Yeah, it's walking around. With his interesting head shape as well. It was what's it? Blank, wasn't it? Matt Blanc.
Oh, Matt LeBlanc or whatever.
No. It's Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc.
It's a totally different.
Because he done the voice for. Yeah, Matt LeBlanc was like tiny at that stage, but Mel Blanc, he was old. But I was a Cerberus Raider. He just happened to look like to be armed with some random bounty hunter from. It's really cool though. Thank you
for letting me know. Appreciate it.
When you're watching these old, I say old, it is old because it's like 40 years old, Buck Rogers. But you're watching like the height of disco fashion, which was roller skate in silver foil sort of thing. That opens your eyes to a lot of things.
That's right. I have to watch Buck Rogers just to go and see the costumes again. You're right, because it was like so 70s inspired type deal.
Well, if he wasn't part of like the Earth Defense Force type thing, because they wore those like one piece outfits, which that's right. Cool in whatever genre you do.
Yeah.
But everybody else like wearing very strange stuff. But again, they're thinking, well, what's going to look cool in the future? Wide lapels, got to go there.
It did like the soft flowing hair.
And like the real tights, perms and everything.
Yeah.
Tiger Man, bad guys, and Gary Coleman as well. Yeah, from Different Strokes.
Yeah.
He was in it as like
he was kid. In it.
Yeah. He was a recurring character. He appeared at least twice. He had one whole episode for him, and then a little like bit part in another episode. But he was like this 20th century kid that, like Buck, somehow ended up in the future.
Okay.
But he was like a super genius.
Okay.
But he also I'm sure there was like this one scene I was watching it and I had to pause it and rewind it. I'm going, did he just swear? Because it was like using it sounded like he said well, to Americans it doesn't really mean a lot, but to us he does the word wanker.
Oh yeah.
So obviously, up until recently, I think more Americans are aware of the term.
Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Oh, good old Ted.
And Twitter. Like, there's been a lot more across the pond chatter, It's the last however many years.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, us, the British use swearing in such a creative way at times.
They do.
And we'll use, every swear word has multiple meanings as well, just to really throw you off. Oh yeah, UFO. The silver foil miniskirt, metallic purple wigs on all the female moonbase staff, and string vest and all the male skydiver scarf. All suits you, sir. This is the word as well, Pa. But the do you ever see Space 1999?
Wow. It doesn't ring a bell. I swore I would have heard the name and have seen. It seems like something. What is it? What is it about? Maybe I have.
Now let's tell you about. There was an actor in it called Martin Landau,
Okay.
who was like an American actor and used to be in the old original Mission Impossibles.
Yep.
So like if you saw him, you'd go, "Oh, him." Well, he was like this commander on this moon base Alpha, located on the moon. But something happens and the moon leaves Earth's orbit and goes flying off. And obviously they're all stuck on there and having adventures on the moon as it flies away elsewhere. Obviously, everyone on Earth is pretty dead because the moon left.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And tides and earthquakes and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, they're safe. But it had some. Again, it was like a late 70s, early 80s type thing, and made by, I think, Jerry Anderson, who done UFO as well. I think it was. I'm not 100% sure it was Jerry Anderson.
Yeah.
But it was that sort of esque thing because the spaceships, the spaceship Eagle transporters were awesome, fantastic ships. So yeah, Martin. So was Space 1999 a Jerry Anderson thing then? Because he'd done a few live action, apart, like obviously Thunderbirds. He did Stingray, which was another of his puppet things, and later on he done Terrorhawks, which was in the 80s, mid 80s.
Oh,
which
why
was,
do I think I've heard that before? Yeah, that one I might be familiar with too.
Yeah, Terrorhawks was interesting because it had a lot of iconic British actors in there, like Windsor Davis, who was voicing one of these spheroid robot soldier type things.
Gotcha.
And you just hear like, "Oh, come on, boys, over the top," sort of thing. And then you also got the main good guy character was Dr. Tiger Neinstein. And each episode, he'd always come out with his phrase, which is "expect the unexpected."
I love that. I gotta watch some of those just because the old, like how they would use catchphrases and stuff, cracks me up.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, Dr. Tiger Neinstein. You don't call him Tiger; he's Dr. Tiger Neinstein. But yeah, he was like, bad evil woman and her army of minions and square robot heads, and then the good guys with the round robot head things. And yeah, it's really cheesy, cool as you would expect for those sort of things. But it's like that modern version. Well, Thunderbirds was like international rescue. This was like an ongoing conflict with these evil witchy woman and her alien cohorts.
Gotcha.
As you often find in space and stuff.
You know how they're always out there.
Oh yeah, Martin's just given a load of torching the battery boy. Featherfalls, Thunderbirds, Stingray, Captain Scarlet with the Mysterons, which were just like circles that appeared on the walls and like, oh, it's the Mysterons. Joe 90 was one of my favorites. Typical little blonde-haired kid goes into machine, puts glasses on, and then he can be whatever he wants to be.
How can you not like that as a kid?
Exactly, yeah. Oh, if I wear those glasses, those like 1960s black rim glasses, put them on, I become Joe 90 and do stuff. Supercard, Dick Spanner, yeah, bloody hell. Space Precinct, that was one of his last ones, I think, Space Precinct, wasn't it? Zelda's, oh no, the bad woman Zelda is on Twitter apparently. Oh, that's glorious. He done so much stuff, and it's all like, you've got, everybody knows Thunderbirds,
Oh
because
yeah.
of they've done all the movies. Even Bill Paxton was in Thunderbirds in
Yeah.
the film. But and then obviously Reed Dunham and all that sort of thing. But Lady Penelope with her Fab One pink roller with 6 wheels.
Oh.
Parker? Yes, milady. Oh, and you say they're puppet shows, but you just believed in them.
Oh, for sure. It's the same with me. I think like what is it now I can't remember the name of the show, even though it's on the tip of my tongue. The movie with the animatronic skeletons, like one of the first ones. You know, Clash of the Titans.
Oh, no, Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
those always stuck. I mean, like it's one of those things because you never see something like that or whatever, and then that was just so ingrained, you know.
yeah, because he done like Jason and the Argonauts and
That's
the seven
yeah.
seven
Oh, Sinbad.
the
I think was
Sinbad
the
movies as well.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was his whole thing with and then obviously Clash of the Titans came about, and they'd done the same thing with all the like the Scorpion monster, wasn't it? It was Scorpion monster
Yep.
and that he fought, and even the bad guy who was trying to stop Perseus. But yeah, no, it's like Ray Harryhausen, like for special effects from what he was
Yeah.
doing back in the day, was just like proper
He
sort of like
influenced so many people, like so many people with that, you know.
Mm. Yeah, no, I actually, again in lockdown, I watched both versions of Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
I didn't bother with Wrath of the Titans. I just wanted to watch original Clash
And then the remake.
and the new Clash with Sam Worthington. I enjoy them both, but I still prefer the first Clash of the Titans with Harry Hamlin. That was just awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of actors in that one too, I think.
Well, yeah, Laurence Olivier,
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith, who was obviously Rocky's trainer in Rocky, and the Penguin. He played the Penguin in the original Batman.
Oh yeah. Well, you got a lot.
Was that police raiding your house again?
There, we didn't blow the horn this time.
No, exactly.
There was no horn.
um, no, it was. I'm trying to think of who else was in that one. Well, they're the main one anyway. Like Lawrence, because
Yeah.
Laurence Olivier, I think that was like one of his last roles as well. I think as Zeus. Oh, what a lovey. Yeah, because in the modern one you had Ralph Fiennes as Hades and Liam Neeson as Zeus.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
those
right.
two. That was awesome. Again, great actors,
Yeah.
masters of their craft, playing brothers. Yeah, no, I love all that. Greek like history, like Greek history and all the god stuff.
Yeah.
I love all that. And
Yeah,
was it
that was
Rome?
probably, I think, yeah, reading about those and what, or finding them, whatever, like, super, super early in school, that was like my first exposure, like, fantasy stuff. And then from there, I was like, okay, find about something like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. And then kind of went from there. You might be, and if you got to go, don't, I know
Still a few minutes. You
we're
don't have to
probably
chuck
both,
me out just
I'm
yet.
gonna work. I'll keep it. You can head out whenever. I'm gonna try to work on this and get one more in there maybe today.
I've just realised he's got on his shoulder mounts. He's got 2 separate weapon systems. So he's got the turbo laser on as we look
Oh,
at the right hand side, and then the plasma blast gun on the left. Yeah, that's it. Turbo laser there, and then plasma on that side. So yeah, with my ones that I've been building up, I've obviously been doing the weapons, but I'm just reluctant to give it all the plasma.
the
Only a
plasma,
madman
because
would
then you'll
do
be
that.
blowing yourself up on the battlefield.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, maximal fire. Fun to unleash it, but don't roll ones.
Yeah.
Although the War Master Titan does have a reactor, because this is the first Titan which uses a special equipment slot in its construction.
Okay.
Because for the last few years, on the dice where you roll for locations, there's one that says special, and whenever you roll special, you count it as a body hit.
Yeah.
But now you can count it as the special, which
Okay.
you've only got two options for its reactor. One allows you to purge plasma. So they're both one-shot things.
Gotcha.
So one allows you to purge plasma. So you just use all the plasma first turn and then engage that to flush your system.
Yeah.
Bring it into more manageable rates. And the other one, I think, allows you to have a faster movement phase.
Oh, because you're powered up. Yeah.
So it's like, enhanced. Like it's like you got a turbo.
That's kind of cool. So yeah, man, I'm gonna end up playing this game too.
Of course you are. You've been infected by me.
And I used to, whatchamacallit, I mean, I know it's going to be nothing like it, but I still love like the Space Marine type deal back in the day with everything.
Oh yeah. Well, Space Marine / Epic as it became. Yeah, it's things. The way things have gone, like with Titanicus, all the specialist games have done pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
For a company releasing these games again, they've done all the resculpts. They've been sorting out all the model sizes, because obviously that was the problem with the first Epic, was that tanks shouldn't have been that big or that small, or in comparison to everything. But they've sorted out the scales, and because Titanicus has done so well, I honestly imagine that they will go down that route at some point. And maybe even like Battlefleet Gothic as well. Who knows?
Well, and it seems like everyone really likes these models, so it's like it's been a great reception. So I'm sure they're going to try to keep it going as much as they can,
Absolutely, and long may they reign.
Yeah, for sure.
I love these things. I might get some more paint on my second one tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're closing in on that, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got most of the color down. I've got to do some shades on it, because going by the picture they've got in the book, it has like an orangey tip to the bottom sort of thing, so it's like a fade out or something. So I'm going to experiment with some washes, maybe make like a glaze or something, just to give it a hint.
Gotcha.
Of color. But then I've got to do on those shoulders where you just are there. I've got to figure out how to do some zigzag stripes on them, which is going to be interesting to say the least. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Well, your other one looked really good, so.
Yeah, thank you. The Solaria scheme, although it looks complicated, it really isn't. And that's why I did those on my YouTube. I've done those how-to videos.
Yep.
Because it is actually really straightforward to do. And once you do it, you just sit back and go, "Wow, that's awesome."
Yeah, some technique is just like a technique thing, and sometimes when you get it, it's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Oh, I'm loving the glow on that. That's because I like the color he's gone with on this Titan anyway. Because I love purple, and the purple with the yellow works really well. Because obviously, again, like you were saying earlier, with Belisarius Cool, green and red are opposites. Yellow and purple are opposites. So that works.
I know. He just had so much plasma that I'm like, you know what? In the scale, I was like, I can have like dripping plasma every. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to play with that to see what I can. I have to lighten it all up again, but so
Yeah.
I left it kind of dark because it lets me force the light, and then from there I kind of see where I can go. You know, it's like, all right, I gotta lighten it up a little more so I see more detail and stuff.
Hmm.
So I just gotta play
No,
with that.
the glow's really working on that because, I say, the way it's sort of bouncing off the armor as well.
Yeah. And that's why I just start with that to put the bounce, to put it bouncing around, and then do kind of the rest of the light. I want to get some of the, I'm going to have some coming out of the vents type deal too, so I want to keep putting in more of the little lights, and then I'll kind of adjust that shaded layer to bring the Titan up a little bit more.
Hmm. Martin, the Great Potato Mage, if you like purple, you'll like my Titans once I finally unbox them and start painting. I'm sure I will, Martin. Because yeah, no, all Titans are awesome. You can't go wrong with any form of Titan, and
You
just got
really
to find.
can't.
They're such great kits.
They really are. They got and now they brought them out. There's like so much detail, and like you said, I think a lot of the scale issues they solved, and you can tell a lot of basically engineering went into these bad boys.
Mm. Yeah, it was all, and I say they're all because they're designed on CAD,
Yep,
they can always upscale them for the big boys.
I
So,
know.
like this thing here, if they was going to do that in like resin or even 3D printed resin,
Yep.
that model, like people have been speculating because like a warlord in pounds, you're looking sort of like 1,300 plus
Yeah.
uh, for a warlord. This thing's going to be just under 2,000 easily.
Yeah.
Somewhere between, I'd say, 16 to 18,000.
Yep.
Not 1,000, 16 to 1,800. Sorry,
1800. Yeah.
yeah, bloody hell, 18,000. Jesus, it has to be made of gold.
That's when the
Um,
Imperator comes out.
gosh, well, a Warlord Titan, a 40k Warlord Titan is like 2 foot tall,
Yeah.
and Imperators are at least twice that height.
Someone was making one in their backyard or something at one point. I saw photos of a huge one. That was insane.
I've got one of my friends from the Titan Owners Club's actually been doing it as a long time, doing one as a long time project. There's about several people out there that are doing Imperator 40k Imperator scale
Yeah.
model. But my friend Lee, he like when we do like a hobby Zoom or every now and again, like each
Okay.
week. And when he's on it, he's like, doing a thigh, and it's like that big.
Wow.
Because he's doing it out of like foam card, and then adding like sculpting bits onto it in the foam card, and adding plastic parts to it as well. But it looks like it's a proper sort of
Yeah.
Titan sort of thing. You can see he's a Titan. There's a guy called Pim who does he makes loads of Titans and stuff out of like say plastic card and foam card.
Yeah.
And they look exactly like the 40k ones that Forge make.
Well, yeah. If you got the skill, and a lot of it's like anything else. I think a lot of it's patience. You know what I mean? If you're going to really take your time and go through it and understand what you're building, there's obviously some amazing hobbyists, but even still, I think a lot of just the amateur types can make a lot of great stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just all down to your imagination,
Yeah.
and just letting loose with it, really. All right, I think it's time for me. What's it, Martin? I've got a 40k scale Imperator. It's me. We just stand on the table. That's
you
legit.
you have a good evening, Lee, and
Yeah,
get some food in you. Don't be not eating the whole time.
I've got my chocolate raisins. I'll be fine.
Make sure they go on an adventure that includes food. Say we stop at a restaurant.
Oh, no, but then I'll get hungry.
And I start eating.
Yeah, I'll just start eating. I'll be back. Anyway,
You have a
lovely
good one, Lee. I'll talk to you soon.
hang out again. And to everyone in the chat, lovely to see you. And see you again next week.
See you soon, Lee.
You mind kicking me out the door, please?
Oh, yeah, I got to kick you out. Wait, let me make sure. I don't even know how to kick you out. Hang on.
Bye.
Wait, the Forge of Mars. How do we cut them off? I don't know. Oh, wait, I can at least... Wait, how do I get rid of you?
I don't know.
Wait, if I leave room, what happens if I leave room? Wait.
If I just come out.
You can just cut out because I can pull your screen off. I want to make sure I'm not getting... Yeah, you got to be able to turn it off.
Yeah. I'm just going to press... I'm pressing the big red button. Ready?
You press the big red button and I'll like tweet you if for some reason you're not gone.
All right. Anyway.
All right, bye. Oh, there, that works. Let me zoom in here. Oh, this thing is cool. I haven't done any paintovers in, I don't know, whatever it was, like the week. So it's been good. And then I feel like rusty. So I'm like, don't get rusty. Go do a bunch. I've got a 40 scare period of me. Yep, Lee, you are gone. Thank you for making it. I got to pull up chat here. There. Big red button for the win. Ta-da. Wait. The worst, the poorest use of a sound effect yet. Here we go. Uh-oh. I made it this far. Guess who just walked in the door? Yeah, so there'll be a brief 2-minute pause here. But I want to come back and try to get these vents right. And some smoke or some hot steam or something coming out of them. I like the glow. There we go. This thing's got so many guns on it. It looks like, I don't know what these are up in the corner, but they almost look like mortars or something. I don't like. Apparently that's a gun, and then the launcher here in the center has got some missiles. I don't know what those ones are on the top, like anti-air defense or something. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to go to the gallery. I will play a time lapse, and I have to go get the dog some food. All right, let's play. We'll do a time lapse of this one. And shouldn't take me but 2 minutes. I will be right back. All right, back. Oh, it's still going. End it. Now on these streams, I get, hey, Wolf Lord Lewis, thanks for making it. And Spline Swine, appreciate you stopping by. Oh, Martin, thank you. He says, yep, AA positions, mortars, big missiles between the shoulders, massive guns on the arms. Okay, yep, the point defenses in the knees, and those guns under shoulder pads, Warhound scale weapons. It's big. That is massive. So it did have mortars and everything. Holy cow. I appreciate your friends recommending it. Hey, Toffee Troll, that's how you found it? You were going around YouTube? I had no idea because, it's just a small little channel, so I was surprised when I found out that. So I thought at first, like, they didn't even, like, they wouldn't even suggest your stream to anyone, like, unless you had 1,000 followers. I thought, like, YouTube's not even going to show it. You just got to, like, grind through. So I was surprised when, even though I have a small channel, it started, like, showing it to people, so that's good to hear. Thanks for letting me know that you actually found it through that. Appreciate it. And I have to do a better way of doing this. So in case you don't know, Toffee Troll, it's mostly on Twitter right now. Like, usually on a Tuesday, I'll put out a tweet and people can reply with a pic of their minis. And that's how I choose some of these to do on the show. So, like, on YouTube, it's not easy for me to be like, hey, reply in the comments with a picture and I'll choose one. If that was the case, I would totally be doing it, but it doesn't work that way. So I'm trying to figure out, better way to, I appreciate people watching these and stopping by. So I try to reward, like Twitter users, if you engage with my content and stuff, like, I try to give you a paint over if I can. And same thing kind of with YouTube. I'm going to cough for a second. I'm going to mute. It was funny. I was traveling recently and you can tell everyone's like afraid. I ate, and I just kind of had to like clear my throat after. And I'm like, oh no, don't like clear your throat when you're in a restaurant and cough. Everyone will be all worried. Oh, hey, Wolflord. No, I don't know. Whenever soon enough. I haven't streamed in like a week, so one of these days, well, I'm gonna have one. I'll probably do like one this weekend or something. I'm kind of way behind. King Crimson, thanks for making it. Now, where did my? I placed my pen over here. Yeah, there's still quite a few people I gotta have on. I never even had King Crimson on once or anything. I gotta get some. I gotta have some more streams. It's kind of a busy couple months for me, so streams may be a bit slow. Crimson, what are you working on today? Oh, he's going to get yourself a steak, Wolf Lord. Enjoy it. Make more time. I agree. Oh yeah, Crimson. I got that, subscription thing. So I got the 2 issues of that, and I actually got my White Dwarf in too. I haven't opened any of them yet. There was quite a bit of stuff in that subscription, it looks like. It's too bright. Let me see here. I need to erase some of the shadow, but not too much. Huh. That's kind of cool, though. Just trying to put a little more blue in here. I don't know if I've seen the Necron Queen. I don't think I've seen a Necron Queen model, have I? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it had the flowing part to it. Huh. I don't know. When was that released? When did that come out? Gosh, this thing is so cool. Okay. Third party proxy. All right. They do have some cool aftermarket type things for all those. we'll put... He needs some orange kind of glow in front of him because I have a lot of blue going on. So I want to put something a little more orange in. I wonder if they will. I wonder if that Imperium subscription will actually come out again next year. Like they say it's supposed to, but who knows between just their whatever manufacturing and profit wise and all that. I wonder if they will, or if it'll be like 5 times the price. Yeah, I hope so too. I would like it. I would subscribe just to get all the different stuff. Like it's a perfect, thing for me. Like get a discount and a bunch of stuff I may or may not play with, but I think it's cool. Lucky for me, I'm getting my phone fixed again, but I will actually be able to take some good pictures for paintovers. The last couple you posted in the Discord were really close. Like that was I could use those. It's just when they're blurry or whatever with some of them, that's what made it difficult. Need more debris floating in the air. Half of giving these Titans scale is having a lot of smoke and dirt in the air. Eight people. Thanks for joining. It's a little slow now. Lee checked out. He had to go do a few things. And I'm trying to finish up. Well, not finish, but get to a comfortable degree. I did this one, which I'll have to take a little further. This one. That's a cool mini. And working on this one. At least try to get through 3 of these. I wanted to do one more, but we'll see. I'll keep this one. I'm getting the scale on this. I keep wanting to put little like sparks and all that coming down. So, oh yeah, Spline Swine says this mech reminds me of a horseshoe crab or something. It's yeah, probably that stomach armor and even the shoulder pads. Yeah, they kind of have that little shape on a horseshoe crab. I kind of see what you mean. Oh, and Black Wolf, I didn't. You said good evening. That was probably a while ago. I missed it. So if you're still here, thanks for making it. They are heavy duty models. Rich is saying this is looking really sweet. Can't wait to get my hands on a War Master. I I didn't, I obviously seen these pictures of it, but then I watched Lee was streaming and he was assembling one. The size of this thing, it is a big model, and he was showing me all the things you can do with the posable kind of like feet and legs. So there's a lot of action and stuff you can get out of it. Ton of different weapons on it and everything. And I have yet to be around a game of this. Like, so I'm viewing it, from these. I'm like, man, I can't imagine, however many of these 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 or whatever, they would look really good on a battlefield. I always imagine these things like covered in dust and like, I don't know. They just they're so big that they just carry all around. From all the battles, like all the dirt that gets kicked up in the air from explosions and everything. I always just imagine that like all being on them, and they're always like walking and it's lumbering and it's like flowing around and oh, you should. Rich, it's definitely a spectacle. I'll drop some photos from a recent game in the Discord later. Would appreciate it. I assume they what's a so like a standard size game. What probably 2.5 hours or something. I don't know if this runs any faster in general than a general 40K game, or if it's faster or slower. I assume they would want to go faster. Get some bad dice rolls or something and having it blow up must be something crazy in game. Okay, so yeah, maybe a little shorter than a 2K 40K game. 3 to 6 Titans per side. That sounds about right and cool. Yeah, I'm sure smaller ones you can take more. Blah blah. The crazy dice roll chain reactions are the best bit. You know, I I think I gather somewhat how it would play, and although it's completely different, it just reminds me of, and I could see how some people get really frustrated by the game, but Blood Bowl, the dice rolls in Blood Bowl, like when you start your turn and do one thing and your first guy moves and then your whole turn's over because you failed. It can be maddening, but it also can be super fun. I don't know if I like that or not. The angry game. Yeah, it's very hard to get anything consistent and accurate, especially like if you don't play like a tough team, you will just get mangled. It is not for the faint of heart. Oh, my pen tip still never came in the mail. That just reminded me. I bought pen tips that they said they're like quieter for tapping on the screen. So I wanted to try them out. Oh, I got a little warning. My iPad battery was getting low. Interesting. Yeah, it does sound like a woodpecker. I was sometimes I like the clip-on mic. My This iPhone that I have doesn't have a headset jack, so you got to get the adapter and all that. And so right now, though, I use the Ethernet cord and a power cord into an adapter that plug in where you normally power it. And so I'm like, what do I need another adapter that has the headphone jack on it? So I don't know. At some point, I'm going to do that because I figure I can have a little directional clip-on mic, and it might cut out some of the tapping. That's my only. I love this iPad. I wish there was a little more tooth to the screen. It's very waxy to draw on it. Like I'm used to it by now, but if it had a little more tooth like a Cintiq screen, it would probably be absolutely perfect. They got the new iPads coming out, I think, this next month in a few weeks or something. Trying to make sure I get enough of the blue energy up and around. Get the right color mix. I'm debating, well, how long have we been at this? 2 hours. So I might pause this one here. Oh, there's these 3 I brought in that I really want to do. I'm going to see how quick I can grab this one. Try to clean up more of this edge. That's why I asked for the white. It's easy. Well, it's that the color is a different one from the model. It's easier to automatically separate it instead of me trying to go around the whole thing and erasing. Lost a little detail on the head, but I'll try to put it back. I should have slow, soft background music when it's just me talking. Oh, we got trash talk and game. I was telling Lee the other day how my Necron could beat his knights on the table. I mean, I don't know how the game plays at all right now. It'll be fun. I'll get some games in at some point. Once the plague dies down a little bit. I like the little addition of the trees and stuff on these Titans. I did another one that just had the trees. I thought they add some good scale to it. Oh, wait, Black Wolf. Is this one yours? Yeah, and no problem. That's I don't convey it well enough, and the reason why, so people don't understand it. So that's all on me. Like they, I don't explain it well. So it's, but I'm gonna put together like a little data card with what makes it good. Let me put a multiply layer on here. This thing is cool. Like I like this one. It has some lighting to it. I think for my purposes, having the model lit even more or like casting a shadow on itself really helps. If you were just trying to show off, like say your paint job on a model, you wouldn't really want a lot of shadow because it would cover up your work. But for me, Black Wolf says it's been following you from Twitter very early on, so happy to see this picked. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad I was able to. And great pictures, by the way. These are cool angles that like really work for this, so it helps. And a lot of what I pick, it isn't like, oh, I think this is really great, or it to me, it's what, kind of what picture it like paints in my head is like, oh, hey, I can do this. And so if it just triggers something in my mind that I think I can get away with quickly, I'm more apt to try it. Even if there's been ones I'm like really want to do, but I know it would take me time to like figure out how I want to tackle them and stuff like that. So I end up not picking them. Maybe a bit of a blue sky. Oh, I just did that. So wait. So it's got it kind of lit, so maybe I play into it. I think I can crop this one a little more. Take a little off the back. See, this is one of those parts where I kind of not sure how exactly I'm going to handle the background. So what I'm going to do is go to an area that I know what I want. So I know the plasma has to glow good. So I'm going to do some plasma effects. Might be too dark. Well, this should work. King Crimson, go. Are you playing with your friends Monster Hunt? King Crimson's going to go Monster Hunt, but I'll leave this on for the view. Appreciate that. I will take any view I can get like that. I'm going to have to play some games. Yeah, cool. Have some fun, King. Get some monsters. Oh, yeah, it's always good when updates come out. I'll talk to you tomorrow about it tomorrow. I got to pick your brain a little bit on that game. Here, get the start of a glow. Maybe I will do add. Ooh, wait, this one, maybe it's going up. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Why not like he's just shot and it's kind of like cooling down or whatever, or all the energy is dissipating from it. It looks cool. It's like floats underneath his chin like that. That adds a lot of good depth to it. We got red eyes. I know I'll put some red eyes in. Just checking out to see if I can have it like like the minigun got done firing and the plasma, and he's like kind of recounting the damage. Maybe he took out something small and just fired a bunch of guns on it, and then is moving along. Due to the composition, it really wouldn't be good having the guns firing right now. It would slice it kind of weird. So it makes it good for this. It gives you, like have it like it's dying down. So I'm just trying to see what would look good for that. Like it's all heated up and what's on there. Black Wolf, have you played many games of this? Probably not with the whole plague going on. want to keep that kind of ground in. It's a good color that works with this, and then have it kind of kick up the dust. So it can kind of have a a little bit of a darker background with a lighter foreground type effect. Yeah, Black Wolf says, no, it's the first one I've painted. Oh, cool. And not had a chance to game for a while now. Yeah, that's what I figure, sadly. Soon. There'll probably be so many games played. Like when all this kind of breaks clear, everyone will be like really going to the gaming centers and everything. Where did you get the little plant material? Is that like a little range, or is it just... Those are kind of cool. Toffee Troll, appreciate it. Have a good night. Hope you get some sleep. It's almost the weekend. Maybe get some hobbying in on the weekend. Huh? Yeah. Good call on that, Black Wolf. I think it works good on these. Well, oh yeah, right here, Toffee. Almost. Probably pass along because I did more work since I sold you last time. Yeah, that thing's cool. I'll pass you along the finished file in the next couple days. I just get caught up on everything. Have a good night. What is this part on his back? Is this just a shoulder joint? I don't think it's any type of exhaust or anything, is it? I think it should be a shoulder joint for making that pivot, correct? Sort of like his knee joint or his hip joint. Okay. Good. My ongoing model and hobby education. They have so much more stuff than when I started. Like it was so small, it's just amazing. It blows my mind that it grew to the size of it is now. Oh yeah, so you started quite a while again. Like I think my friend said the other day, it's like, oh, 95, it wasn't that long ago. And then you think it's like a quarter century. I always like in nature when it's like morning sometimes in that fog, and I'm sure you've seen it where like the fog is, I don't know, a couple meters off the ground, and it's kind of that layer of like haze, and if you walk through it, it all swirls around. I love that effect. Yeah, Black Wolf, that's the same with me. It's like, I don't know, so many of the Primarchs are totally new to me in a way, because I'm like, I know the names now or whatever, but, I don't know their history really at all. Some of them, I would do the, like Wikipedia searches sometimes, or like the, whatever one the 40K is, and there'll be a lot of information in there. But then half the time it's so vast, I'll learn something and I don't even remember it. It's like I'll forget it. I'll I'll see shows with I'll watch a replay of the show, and it'll be like me asking Lee a question, and then I'll watch the next show and it'll be me asking Lee the same question because I forgot. It's like, oh, that'll be really good for viewers. They like that. Tau, I haven't painted over too many Tau. I want to do a couple more of those. They got the cool war suits. I'm going to find out how much. I don't know why I need to find this out, but I want to find out how much a Warhound Titan is from Forge World, like the 40K size one. It's got to be what, $400 or $500. A little blur. Put some blur on the legs for motion. Try to do it like on the joints, or like I'll probably put some on the gun. I think that's one of the biggest, tips to anyone out there. Like if they were doing this or like kind of really photoshopping the models to try to add motion, it's like doing a little selection and just adding some blur in select spots. Awesome work on this thing. I want to crop it a little more. Okay, yeah, just had a look and it's 430 pounds for a Warhound. So it's probably like whatever, 550 or 600 American. So it sounds about right. Gosh, that's huge though. No one said it's a cheap hobby. And I mean, well, that's not exactly a needed hobby piece. That's like a special treat. For me at least. I don't ball that hard to $600 Titans. Exactly. If I had the, I was laughing. I was like, yeah, if I had the full size one, I'd like mount it on my hood of the car as an emblem. So I'll be playing on the smaller scale, which they're cool. Like the all the design, like the aspects that I like personally, like especially looking at it in a photo and digital, it doesn't really make a difference. It's like you look at them, and for this, it really wouldn't matter for my purposes if it's the small scale or big scale one. It's the same entertaining level to me. What is the like the is this did you make your own chapter for this, or Legio? I don't even know what they go by in this. I don't know if it's Legio, Legion, or it's not chapter. Maybe Space Marine. Good thing Lee can't hear this. I'd be in trouble. I get caught up in all the little things. Legio went with my own color as it couldn't decide on one. Good job. You like it pulls it off. I'm getting some together to like paint, and I already know that's and I would think I would be like more confident in my color choice. As many of these as I looked at, and as many paintovers, and I've worked professionally for artists and have understand color and everything. And then I would go to do this, and I know I'm going to be like intimidated. What am I going to do? What do I like it? Do I like that concept? Kudos for anyone too who gets into this hobby and doesn't really do anything in art, and then goes and paints these and stuff. That takes, I don't know, kind of a lot. I think of like, I don't know, if I liked music or something, I still wouldn't just go and pick up some instrument and start playing. You know what I mean? So it's cool that people do it and get to express some creativity. There we go. Yeah, I like it. I think, in a lot of times, from an art standpoint, for at least in my experience, and probably most others, like it's simplicity. Like even something simple, like in because I tend to want to overwork stuff, so I'm always like edit it down, edit it down. If I think I edited enough down, like edit it down more. And you have that just little line. I think it works perfect. It kind of has its own style to it, and yet it doesn't get all like over ornate or anything, so it works. I think I'm going to call this one good for now. I got to go through and do touch-ups on all these. I'll like look at them tomorrow and, do different things and tweak them and stuff. And then I will end up like tweeting them out when they're all kind of finished up. I haven't done one of these shows in a week or like a paintover, so do this and then I gotta get to work tomorrow on some commissions and do some other things, send off some prints and good stuff like that. So Black Wolf, I hope you like it and appreciate you swinging by and checking it out. I will over this next coming week in a few days, I'm gonna I'll finish these off and pass them along to you. Appreciate everybody watching. If you did enjoy and you're still around, please hit that like button or subscribe or all that good stuff, and appreciate you sticking with me. Thank you all and have a good night or day. Thanks. Glad you got to watch, Black Wolf.